The Dating Game. Here's the star of our show, your host, Jim Lang.
Hey! Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And welcome to the Dating Game. And we'll get right underway. It's time to meet our first three eligible bachelors for game number one. And here they are. Good luck, gentlemen. Well, let's see. Bachelor number one is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome. And it's time to meet our young lady for game number one, and here she is. Here is a young lady with a wealth of experience. She once earned a living massaging feet, but she quit when her boss suggested that she work her way up. Then she taught school in Phoenix, Arizona, and now she's here to educate our three bachelors in the art of amour. Welcome, if you will, sensational Cheryl Bradshaw. Hello, Cheryl. Don't sit down yet. Just a minute. Want to make sure everything is straight. You relaxed? You feel okay? All right. You know there are three bachelors over there. There'll be 1, 2, and 3. Ask them anything you like to find out more about them, except their name, age, occupation, or income, okay? And we're going to start by having them say hello to you and see how they sound. Number one, would you say hello to Cheryl, please?
We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl.
Okay, and here we go.
Bachelor number one.
Yes.
What's your best time?
The best time is at night, nighttime,
Why do you say that?
because that's the only time there is.
The only time? What's wrong with morning, afternoon?
Well, they're okay, but nighttime's when it really gets good. Then you're really ready.
I'm a drama teacher, and I'm going to audition each of you for my private class. Bachelor number one. You're a dirty old man. Take it.
Come on, over here.
Oh, honey, we ought to go out and boogie.
Really?
Bachelor number one. I am serving you for dinner.
Oh,
What are you called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
Later, Bachelor one. Later.
Welcome back to the Dating Game, and Cheryl, we have reached the moment of truth, as we call it. You've heard from the bachelors. You got some great dramatic presentations, some good answers, but now I'm going to ask you a question. Will that date be bachelor number one, bachelor number two, or bachelor number three? Who gets the dates?
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take one.
Number one, bachelor number one, all right. Well, there they go. However, you did leave one remaining, and this is your date, and I want to tell you something about him, Cheryl. He's a skydiver, so he's got a lot of nerve. He's into motorcycling. He's also a fine photographer. Say hello to Rodney Alcala. Rodney, come on and say hello. Congratulations, Rod. You did it with the one answer. Well, as far as I can see, Cheryl and Rodney, it looks like the two of you may be involved in some sort of racket. So we're going to have you take to the court. Oh, first you'll receive tennis lessons from expert Naomi Besa of the famous Kirkwood Tennis Club. That starts. And you'll soon be acing everyone off the courts. And to make sure you both look as professional as you'll become, complete tennis outfits will be provided by Bill Darling's Tennis Shop. It'll really make you look like part of the racket set. Then it's off the Magic Mountain, one of America's greatest and most complete amusement parks, with plenty of excitement to challenge any daring dater, like the Revolution that'll help you turn the town upside down, and of course the world's greatest roller coaster, the Colossus. Magic Mountain, just a half an hour north of Hollywood, California. So have fun playing tennis. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you. Okay. You can go relax, meet each other, say hello, get acquainted, and they'll be back. And before we begin our next game, let's find out what runners-up will receive today from Johnny Jacobs.
So that was Rodney Alcala. What was your thoughts about Rodney Alcala so far?
I forgot what I was thinking about.
Well, we just saw the video of Rodney Alcala and his answers to the questions that the Bachelorette has given. What was your thoughts about his answers?
Well, it was pretty much foretelling though, especially that part where she asked him what his favorite time of day was, and he answered nighttime, because that's when things happen.
Mm-hmm. And she would try to ask, like, well, what about mornings or during the day? And he would be like, they're okay.
And he's like, nope, I like nighttime.
And keep in mind, folks, that this guy already killed multiple people before he was on the dating game show. And I also want to do some clarification that after she met with the guy, she decided, no, I don't want to go on a date with him because she felt creeped out. Which is very a good thing that she trusts her instinct, because who knows what could have happened. Yeah.
Remember, folks, trust your gut feeling on this type of stuff. Someone activates your seismometer, get out of there.
Right? You never know. Always trust your gut, your instincts. Something is wrong with somebody, always trust it.
Yep.
Alright, so here's some facts about Rodney Alcala. So, date of birth, August 23rd, 1943. Nicknames, the dating game killer, John Burger, and we'll later on get to why he had these nicknames.
John Burger. You turn people into hamburgers?
Oh, you'll find out.
Okay.
Characteristics, he will rape and murder. Number of victims, 5 to 100 plus. Now,
a lot.
yeah, and the reason why I say 100 plus, because as far as the cops were concerned, they were able to find 5 victims, but they made an assumption that he actually killed more than 5. Like, there is a possibility that he killed at least over 100 people. That's honestly a lot. Like, how the fuck do you get away from killing over 100 people?
I don't know. Like, I would assume that after a few, people would start suspecting you. You know, people around you go missing and whatnot.
They go missing and fucking there's bodies everywhere.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could, you know, and how do you even, like, keep all that in? I know I would start panicking or something if that was me.
I'm thinking, I think this was the 70s, because it said right here, date of murders from 1977 to 1979. So yeah, this was the 70s. So back then, we don't have the technology like we have nowadays. Like, if you try to kill somebody, nowadays, yeah, good luck trying to get away.
Your phone tracks your every single movement you make, so the cops can just get your where the hell you were.
Your phone, your fucking, there's cameras literally just everywhere at this point. Like, I can't even probably walk or drive down 10 blocks.
Where, you know, getting inside of a stranger's car, you know, wasn't seen as dangerous.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that. Getting inside of a stranger's car, I don't know how fucking people did that back then.
And this is not like Uber and stuff. I mean, we still have the same thing with Uber and all these rideshare apps, but with that, you know, you get their license plate number, you get what they look like, you get their make and model of their car.
Right. And
at first, you know, there was also a lot of Uber killers because they didn't have any of those features when they first.
Right.
So that was like the perfect thing for serial killers in the modern era.
Oh yeah, those were the golden times for them.
It's like, this guy possibly killed like over 100 people in the span of 2 years. 1977 to 1979. That's a lot, man.
That's a long, within 2 years. And honestly, like, a year kind of passed right through to me. So imagine this guy, what he probably went through, what was going through his mind. So date of arrest, July 27th, 1979. So somewhere around there, he did slip up. I'm pretty sure I did write the facts how he slipped up. Murder method, strangulation and beating. Known victims, Robin Samsel, age 12, Jill Barcombe, age 18, Georgia Wixton, age 27, Charlotte Lamb, age 32, Jill Parentru, I do apologize, I can't pronounce that last name, it's a very long last name, the cat. I don't know if you want to try to give that a shot of saying how to say that last name.
I want to screw this up. I want to say Parento, something like that.
Yeah.
Parento.
I'll write it in the description of the last name. Give you folks a chance to see if you can say that last name. It turns out it was actually something simple.
That would be hilarious.
So yeah, Jill died at 21. Crime location, California. That's where I'm from. Status: sentenced to death, awaiting execution. I think he actually recently just died. I'm not 100% sure. I think they recently did execute him.
That, I guess.
Actually, yeah. Let me actually quickly Google that and see if he's still alive or if he's still awake. Because damn, if he got arrested in 1979 and it's like 2022.
I was like, what the fuck are they even doing down there?
I'm just thinking like, damn. Well, maybe.
Maybe because California.
Well, not only that, but it's like, if you think about it, if he did kill 100 people, they're probably trying to get a confession out of him.
That could also be it.
And then probably get him to say, like, all right, well, where are the bodies? And he's not talking until, you know, a year passed. And then he's like, all right, I'll give you one body per year. I mean, that's one way to stay alive.
Yeah.
And the reason why I kind of came up with that idea is because you ever seen that show, not CSI, Criminal Minds?
Oh no, I don't really have seen that show.
Well, there is actually an episode where one of the FBI agent, he has to talk to this one killer because I guess he killed over 100 people and he hid the bodies, and you know they sentence him to death. And he's like, hey, you know what? I'll tell you where the body is, but I'm only going to tell you once a year. Until then, you guys are going to have to hold my execution.
Damn. Right, and the cops want to find the bodies and stuff, so...
So actually, yeah, Rodney Alcala is dead. He actually died in July 24th, 2021.
Oh, so like last year? Or...
Yeah, last year. He just died. I guess they just executed him.
Well, this information is a little bit outdated, but not that bad, I guess.
Well, I got it from the book, so, you know.
Book has been published before 2021.
Yep, it actually has. So, you know, just remember, folks, if you ever do things, make sure you study. Otherwise, you know, you're going to make some minor mistakes.
Back with us, you got to hear noted that he was awaiting execution when he was already dead.
Alright, so a little background about Rodney. Rodrigo Jacques Alcala Borco was born in San Antonio, Texas. In 1951, his parents, Raul and Ana Maria Gutierrez, moved the family to Mexico. His father abandoned the family just 3 years later. When Alcala was about 11, he moved to LA with his mother and siblings. In 1960, at the age of 17, Alcala enlisted in the U.S. Army and became a clerk. Things started to go very wrong, though, in 1964 when Alcala went AWOL from the Army and hitchhiked to his mother's house. Don't you get arrested if you go AWOL?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was like a different rule back then, like in the 70s, or I should say in the 60s actually. If you go AWOL, they just let you go and you're never to return to the military ever again.
I just 60s. Maybe they didn't have the manpower. I mean, well, the 60s, like Vietnam or some shit like that. I don't remember when the Vietnam War was, but they could have been that.
Right.
They were just too busy with that war.
Because I know nowadays, if you go AWOL in the military, yeah, you will be arrested for that shit. A military psychologist was tasked with assessing Alcala, and he determined he was suffering from antisocial personality disorder. He was medically discharged from the army. Okay, so he was let go because he was medically discharged from the military. Because I guess he was a little antisocial.
Yeah, antisocial personality disorder.
Which that doesn't really show in the game show because he seemed like he did have a personality in that show.
But it could all just be an act to try and get like people to lower their defenses and stuff.
It actually, we probably will be getting that because that's actually how he got to his victims. He was able to kill people because he will lie and tell people like, oh yeah, I'm a photographer, and I work with professionals, and I can get you in Hollywood. I can make you a star, and that's how he'll lure them in. And that's how he'll kill them. Spoiler alert.
Oh, we're in a little ahead of ourselves here.
So we're still in the background stage.
All right.
So after he was discharged, Alcala went on to study at the UCLA School of Fine Arts, in which he graduated. So he did graduate in School of Arts. He first came under police scrutiny. I don't know what that means.
Scrutiny means they were like looking at him quite closely.
Like, was he a suspect or?
Probably that means that he was not necessarily a suspect, but a person of interest at this point.
And this happened in 1968. So I'm assuming that's when his murder actually started. Because, like I said, the cops say, even though we only found 5 bodies, we believe he killed more than 100 people. So maybe that's when it actually started.
Maybe, yeah. 1968.
Following the 8-year-old girl. Oh, I didn't even finish that sentence. Finish your... Side note, finish the goddamn sentence.
What 8-year-old girl?
So I guess that's why the police were watching him, because he was actually following an 8-year-old girl.
Oh, was he like stalking her?
I guess so. That's...
Damn. That's,
Actually, yeah. He had been seen luring the girl into his apartment, but was able to flee before the police got there, leaving the girl beaten. Oof. Alcala then enrolled in the NYU Film School and studied under Roman Polanski, using the name John Berger to put the police off his trail. So that was the reason. That was one of his nicknames, was John Berger. That's why he changed his name, so he can get away from the police.
I was using a fake name. Kind of smart.
Especially, this was the 70s.
Right. People took out your word on who you are there. You couldn't just like look you up on Facebook like, oh, this ain't him. This is his real name or whatever.
Roman Polanski. I don't know. Was he a director or was he an actor? I think he was a director.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So Roman Polanski is a Polish-French film director. So he directed such movies as The Pianist. The Pianist. I'm sorry.
Do you mean The Pianist?
Pianist, whatever. Rosemary Baby, The Officer and Spy, Chinatown, The Knife Gate, Carnage. Not the Spider-Man one, but I guess a different one.
Oh.
The Tenant, Bitter Moon, The Fearless Vampire. I have never heard of these movies.
Me neither. How old are these movies? Can you see out there?
Yeah, some of them are from the 90s, some of them are in the 60s, some of them are actually recent, like The Ghost Rider, that was a 2010, Venus in Fur, 2013. But then again, he's French, so these probably are just foreign movies. That's probably why I never even heard of these.
Well, I never heard of these movies.
Oh, Rush Hour, I heard of that movie.
Oh, did you direct Rush Hour?
Yeah, he directed Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Sure, I remember that movie from when I was a kid. That was a bomb.
So yeah, he actually
Okay.
he took him under his wing. And I was like, damn. Where was I? Over the next several years, Alcala continued to get arrested for several crimes, including assault on a young girl and drug possession. He admits to knocking a 15-year-old unconscious, and I'm not gonna really say the word because I don't know if I'm gonna get
We're gonna get demonetized for saying that word.
demonetized, but that's usually if you're getting paid. I'm not getting paid yet.
Yeah.
But in case later on in the future I get paid and this video pops up.
This video's gonna be age restricted or whatever. But
Right.
I don't know.
So when it comes to that word, we'll just say the R word. That's what people are now saying nowadays. So whenever they want to use that word, they just say the R word.
Because something about, I think it goes against YouTube's policy or something.
So
maybe
yeah,
I'm gonna take it down.
right. So yeah, every time we use that word, we'll just say the R word. So anyways,
Hey, can we even say the word murder?
I have no idea, honestly.
We're saying a bunch of stuff like at this point we're saying we're talking about killers and all that and saying stuff and and not wanting to say that other word because of whatever while we're saying all this other stuff.
Hey, I just say at this point, like, hey, you know what? If later on we start getting paid by YouTube, that
My bad.
yeah, we'll just say our bad, or you know, we'll edit the videos, bleep them out, and you know what's actually funny? I was thinking of, you remember that show Death Clock, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they say a cuss word, instead of saying it, you just hear a guitar. That's what I'm thinking of.
The Octo was the show.
That show was fucking badass. You know, I actually finally saw the very last episode the other day.
Huh. Okay.
But rewinding a few steps, we're not gonna get into that. We still gotta talk about this guy.
Right.
Okay.
Or else we're gonna get distracted and talk about good old days.
So yeah. So he knocked out a 15-year-old girl unconscious and R-worded her while posing as a professional photographer. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, this is how he lure people in, is that he'll tell people like, oh yeah, I'm a professional photographer, I have taken pictures of famous people, and I can get you famous. And again, keep in mind, this was the 70s.
They didn't have Instagram filters or whatever, so people back then, if you wanted a nice picture, you gotta go to a professional.
And you gotta hope that professional will take it to, you know, higher ups and be like, hey, you guys should hire this person, and look what they did.
Alright. Yeah, I feel like these days it's kind of easy to blow up and get famous and stuff.
Right.
What you gotta do is take pictures, put them on on Instagram or whatever. Use filters, and boom.
Yep. Nowadays, that's how it is.
You'll have a lot of dudes from like India or Pakistan or wherever being like, "Yes, beautiful queen, please show me boss."
So we're on the next page now.
Alrighty.
So now we are at the murder section.
Ooh.
This is where. So yeah, pure discretion is advised. Where I have put some very detail of how he murdered these people. So I do give a little viewer discretion is advised. Things might get a little graphic.
Just like this video playing in the background.
Oh yeah, I'm just killing a female demon. Don't mind that. Okay, so Jill Barcombe was a runaway from New York when she disappeared in 1977. So this is like basically the year he started murdering people. Or
that we know of.
That we know of. So her body was discovered in LA ravine and she had been rolled up like a ball. Investigators thought she may have been a victim of the Hillside Strangler. I heard of that person, but we'll get that in another segment. But DNA evidence later showed Alcala to be responsible for her death. Huh. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of picturing her body was discovered rolled up like a ball.
I'm wondering how that would be. Was just like
did she like?
Well, what's her arms and legs like tangled up and stuff?
Tangled up, or did he like dismember him?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like how she rolled up in the ball. Was she just like in the fetal position?
I'm assuming like he just got some wires and tied her up in the ball and just threw her in there. Also.
Sorry, I just had to laugh. I'm imagining, you know, like in cartoons when like characters get like rolled up like a, you know, extend their arms and they're like tied up and twisted.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining. I know it's like gruesome stuff, but I just got that thought in my mind.
Hey, we're sick people. We're twisted minded sometimes. So if you're the victim, parent, guardian, you know, this is somebody that you guys do know. Yeah, we do apologize in advance. We do take this serious. And that's the reason why I want to do these podcasts, because I want to give out a warning, like, hey guys, you know, be aware of who you might meet. I think nowadays it's still fucking dangerous, especially with social media nowadays. Like, for example, Snapchat, Instagram, you got all these people coming up to you and saying, oh yeah, I'm actually famous. I actually can make you a millionaire, and turns out they're actually a killer or a pedophile.
Yeah, that's quite happening a lot. Like, you got like these influencers, Instagrams, using their platforms and their fame, their little fame. I don't know, they got like 10,000 followers. They think they're like some shit or whatever.
Like fucking Charles Manson. Oh, I can't fucking. Not Charles Manson. What's that fucking makeup kid's name?
Oh, Charles. Shit.
Was it Charles?
Charles something. James Charles.
James Charles. Yeah, that was his
Oh
name.
yeah, he was accused of talking to like underage dudes and trying to get into like post shirtless or whatever.
Fucking take pictures of their armpit hair and send it to him, which is like, that's fucking weird.
That's weird. But you know, people got a lot of kinks nowadays, and you know, you're not supposed to kink shame or whatever. So,
But I understand, like, if this was an adult and he like asked an adult, like, hey, send me your armpit hair, I'll still think it's weird, but it's like, hey, you know what,
now
do
he's an
you?
adult, you know, two consenting adults. But if it's a minor, no, that's just weird. Like, y'all need to stop.
But so rewinding a few steps, we'll do a segment on James Charles.
And other people that I can think of, you know, other influencers.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of segments. We got a lot of ideas. We'll do a lot of episodes for you guys.
Because that can be like a whole separate thing, just straight up pieces of, influencers that are just straight pieces of shit who use their platforms to try and talk up underage people.
Yeah, it's just horrible. I can't really stand people like that. But okay, continuing on. Also murdered in 1977 was Georgia Wixted, who had been bludgeoned to death inside her apartment in Malibu. Charlotte Lamb was murdered in the laundry room of her apartment complex after being raped and strangled. Sorry guys, R word.
Right.
Jill Panterio, that's the last name we can't pronounce. Again, I apologize. It's a really hard last name. Was also killed in her apartment in Burbank. These four murders were linked to Alcala through DNA. So they have his DNA, and so far these are like 3 people. But it's like, damn, how did he get away? Again, this is the 70s. I understand it. A lot of shit was actually, there was a lot of things you can get away way back then, but damn, still 4 people at that point?
All in their apartments. I'm guessing he posed as a photographer for all of them.
Yeah, that's basically how he killed every single person, was being a photographer. Or with these apartment ones, he just found them and just dove on in, I guess.
Yeah. And he said that in his area, like he beat them all and outworked them and stuff.
He was a twisted person. What can we say?
Do we know what he beat him with? Do they got like the murder weapon or?
It didn't really say. Majority of the things I found was he just basically used his fist to beat them.
Oh, okay.
But I'm pretty sure majority of the victims, he had to use weapons.
Yeah, so I'm wondering like he.
But also he drugged them. Remember, he also drugged them. So while the drug, I guess that's when he'll beat them.
Okay, so it could have been he drugged them, then he just beat them and did his stuff.
And he R-worded them. So it's a fucking tragic, guys. I really do apologize. Where was I? Another murder that took place. Okay, yeah. So another murder that took place in 1977 was that of Pamela Jean Lampson. Pamela had gone missing after traveling to Fisherman's Wharf, where she had arranged to meet a photographer, aka Alcala. Her body was found near a hiking trail in Marin County, naked and battered.
So he probably did her the same way he did others. Except this seems like probably he did it out in public. Rather than in apartments or something.
No, I think what he did was he just took them into his place, and that's when he did all that. And then after he was done,
he would like dump their body somewhere.
Like at this point, at was gone missing, and her body was found near a hiking trail. So yeah, he obviously had to drive somewhere and then try to leave before anyone else can find them. Next, we have Christine Ruth Thorne, disappeared in 1977 in Wyoming. Her body wasn't found until 1982, however, and her remains were unidentified until DNA testing was done with samples from her relatives. An autopsy showed she had been around 6 months pregnant when she was murdered. Alcala later claimed that he did take photography of Christine, but he denied of murdering her. So, another thing he also did, this is another reason why they believe he killed 100 people, because he took pictures of these people. So they like basically connect dots, like, this person has disappeared, he has pictures of them,
Right.
connect the dots.
Probably murdered them, it's looking like so. But I'm guessing they never found the bodies. They couldn't charge him with the murder, and no body, no crime.
Well, they found 5 bodies, so it's like obviously one body's enough. But
Right.
like I said earlier,
They haven't found the others.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I said earlier is that's why they probably kept him alive for over 25 years.
To like try and get him to confess to all the murders.
And then I don't know if he ever did, or they just said, you know what, fuck it, we give up, let's just kill him, because at this point he's just living for free.
Wasting taxpayers' dollars.
And then finally, a 12-year-old Robin Sam Show disappeared in June 1979, somewhere between her ballet class and a visit to the beach. Her body was found several days later, dumped in LA foothills. So this had to happen while she was away from friends, family, whenever. Like it's actually become a scary thing, especially for women, to be alone.
Oh yeah, because someone could just come in, not just driving in a van or something, just snatch you and run off.
And this is actually a side note. This is not one of the ways he did it. This is something I notice nowadays as a new kidnap technique. I don't know if you've seen videos of it, but
what is?
So, you know how like they always typical, it's a friggin' big white van with no windows. That's like the number one use for kidnapping.
Right.
But now it's a friggin' massive fucking bigger van. Like these vans are huge. And for some reason they park so freaking close to a woman's vehicle. And I want to get this out there so people are aware of this new technique. And they have the sliding door so fucking close where, the driver door is at.
Huh. So they could just like reach out and like...
Yep. And the reason why they park so close is so it's
Right.
like, it's going to be hard to get that door open and
Right.
get in. But nope, they can just open the sliding door, grab you, and boom, you're taken away.
Damn.
And people notice this because, they're like, okay, why the hell is this big ass van parked so fucking close? And they see there is a driver in there. They see there is somebody in there in the driver's seat, and he's just sitting there for no fucking reason. So that's like a little warning. Let you guys be aware. I'm pretty sure a lot of you seen those videos, but for those who haven't, please be aware.
Video, so I didn't know that was like a technique.
Oh yeah, they came up with new techniques of kidnapping, and like I don't know if you've heard of the one that they've been using women to kidnap.
Oh yeah, like they do that a lot for like trafficking. There'll be like women who go up to like younger women and be like, yo, I got like, can you help me with my puppy or something like that, or something like innocent. And you're like, oh, it's a woman, I can trust them, and boom, they got like a male accomplice somewhere parked, and then they just grab him and take off.
It's fucking horrible, people. It is fucking bad.
Shit, here in Arizona, I know like that they were like. There was like a lot of rumors that people were being snatched from like parking lots and stuff.
Parking lots, fucking Mills Mall.
Yeah, the Arizona Mill. That was like the big one where they're like, women don't go there alone because they're just vehicles are parking up and just snatching women.
You know that one church that took years? Yes,
that off the freeway off of once. Is it I-17 or was it the I-10?
I think it was the I-10 one. It took. I seen that freaking church being built in the 90s, and it's barely been built like a year ago.
Right. Yeah, that one church. Yeah, they were apparently there was some fucked up shit going on there.
Like I heard there was actually human trafficking going on in that church.
Well, like the leader of that church, apparently what he was doing, he was brainwashing the women of that church to give him to give that guy their daughters. Like that were like 12, 13, 14.
Oh shit, I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah, and they were just trafficking them. They're like pretend that they're going to like church retreats or whatever the fuck, and they were just like trafficking them and them around from state to state because they got like churches in Arizona and like California and other states. I don't even know.
That's fucking horrible, honestly. That's just fucking bad.
That's one of the reasons why I don't really like churches and all that, because you know they be doing some weird shit. I mean, look at all like the Catholic churches, all the priests and shit. They're touching little boys.
Right. Or I don't go to church because there's just way too many fucking judgmental people
Oh yeah,
and those things.
they judge you for every fucking thing.
Everything. Alright, so continuing on, timeline of known murders. These are just known, these are the murders that has been known so far. So, 1971, Crilly, most likely I'm mispronouncing.
Cornelia Criley, I'm assuming, due to I think it's I before E except after Y or some shit like that. I don't know.
Something like that. We're pretty much mispronouncing it, or maybe we got it right. Who knows?
Don't know. It's been a long time since school.
1977, Ellen Hover. 1977, Jill Barcombe. 1977, Georgia. Damn, so he basically murdered these people in 1 year.
He just one day decided, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna start murdering people. Like, how do you just wake up one day and just decide that shit?
I always think like people like that, they had to go through something in their lives and say, you know what, I want to fucking kill.
Right. Well, we got that one where he possibly started doing stuff in what 1968 or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's when he started being a suspect.
And then you got this one right here. It says 1971 was a first murder, but I don't see that as one of the ones that is linked to him. So maybe they didn't link him to that one, but the rest are all like 1977 and 1979.
Right. Well, they say like, yeah, it's just coincidence that he has pictures of that person.
Yeah.
And then that person disappears, and then he denies like, no, I didn't kill him.
Right. And since they don't have, I'm guessing they don't have DNA for those, they can't prove it's him.
Right. I want to say I kind of believe him because he admitted that he killed these people. Why would he want to lie about killing this one person?
I don't know.
Like, you gotta keep that in mind. Like, imagine you're a killer, you killed 5 people, you admitted like, oh yeah, I killed these people, and then a detective comes up to you like, okay, well, what about this person 9 years ago?
But then they say right here for Christina Ruth, he also denied killing her, but there was DNA evidence. So maybe he's just a pathological liar. He's just lying.
He lied, he's in denial. There's like multiple reasons why he'll be doing these things. Continuing on, Jill Barcombe, 1977. Georgia Wixon, 1977. Pamela Jean Lobson, 1977. Christine Ruth Thornton, 1977. Jill Parentiru, 1979. And then finally, or actually not finally, Robin Samsel, 1979. Suspected of the following murders. So these are the murders that he was suspected of, but he denied them, and they were not proven.
Antoinette Whitaker, age 13. That was in July of 1977. And the other one, Joyce Gaunt, 17, February 1978.
So those are also the following people that he was suspected, but there was no proof, and he was in denial. But again, supposedly he killed over 100 people, which is like, damn, within 2 years. Well, maybe some of them possibly could be men, because otherwise, you know, he probably was killing a woman, and then he saw a witness, and that's when he went to go after them.
Could be. But all these suspected murders of him all seem to be women.
Right. Alright, so now we are on arrest and trial.
Wonder if he was the original incel.
Detectives have been calculated a composite sketch of the man suspected of killing Robin Samsel. As a result, Alcala was identified by his parole officer. Officers searched his mother's home, during which they located a receipt for a storage locker belonging to Alcala and Seattle. When they went through the locker, they discovered hundreds of photographs of young girls, many which were nude, and paired of earrings identifying as belonging to Robin Samson, as well as another pair that would later be traced back to Charlotte Lamb through DNA tests. So not only they suspected him over 100 people because they found a locker full of photos, and basically he had a treasure for each one.
Kitty porn, it seems.
So this guy actually did a lot within 2 years, possibly even longer, but again, there's no proof or evidence that he did these things before 1977. Alcala was arrested in July 27, 1979 and charged with Robin Samson's murder. He went to trial and was found guilty, receiving a death sentence in 1980. In 1984, the sentence was overturned because the jury had been informed of his previous crimes, which wasn't allowed. It was overturned a second time in 1986 as a result of claims that a witness had been hypnotized.
Huh?
So I guess supposedly one of his victims was hypnotized, and that's why he basically denied these murders. Like, oh no, I didn't fucking kill these people. They were just hypnotized.
Okay, that's a little bit weird.
That is actually.
Okay. Okay, that's a weird defense, but okay.
And then in 2003, Alcala was linked to 2 more murders through DNA. By 2010, he had stood trial for 5 murders. Alcala was found guilty of all 5 murders and remained in death row. Well, no longer remained. He died a year ago.
Oh, it took him all the way to 2003 to link him to the murders with by DNA that were made in 1977. That's like a long time.
Yeah.
I wonder what they were doing that whole time. Like,
Well,
and how did they get all that DNA if the bodies died like so long ago?
that is kind of true, huh?
Like, did they dig them up and just like get a skin sample or something?
I understand, like, if you find a skeleton, you could just, get a piece of DNA out of the bone, you can identify who it is, but I'm pretty sure any other DNA that was left on that person, that would have died like a long time ago as well.
That's what I'm wondering too, like how they get all that DNA.
There are numerous other cases Alcala is a suspect in, but many won't be prosecuted because he was already received the maximum sentence possible. Well, not possible, but he did die.
Oh, okay, so that's why they like suspect him of all these other murders, but they haven't actually linked them to it because they're not gonna bother with it because he's already
He's already guilty at that point, so it's like, okay, why are we gonna continue this trial? He's already guilty. We already got 5 people. Just put him to death already.
All right. So one of those things like where we kind of suspect that he killed a lot of people, but since he was already on trial for all those other murders, like, whatever. He's guilty.
Right? He's guilty.
He's guilty. He's guilty. Just like all these other murders, they don't matter. He's fine. All right, he's guilty.
He's guilty. What else? There was no murders. That case of Alcala was prosecuted. Okay, here we are now at the outcome segment. Posing as a photographer was the main component of Alcala's MO, and investigators found over 100 photographs in his possessions following his arrest. They released 120 of these to the media in the hopes that the public might be able to help identify the women and young girls in them. I want to say that is a good thing that they did that, but it's like at the same time, I have to look at it the point of view of the family. Like, they're missing their child, and it turns out, this is the person that possibly killed that person. And I'm not saying child, it could be their child, their wife, their girlfriend. This could be anyone.
Right.
Let's see what else. In the first week of the photograph being made public, around 20 women came forward to identify themselves.
So I guess not all of them were killed. That's why, because That's why they say 100 and not 120 suspected, because 20 of them came forward that were alive, I'm guessing.
Yep. I wonder if they just escape or he just let them go.
Could be. I don't know, because like these serial killers, you know, that they got like methods of how they choose their victims and whatnot. Maybe there just was an opportunity.
Right.
Because he knew, like, well, he was like studying photography, so it could have been that he, you know, took pictures for real, and then just some of them he decided, you know what, I'm just gonna kill him. Small things. Could also be that some of these women, maybe they went with like a friend or something, so he knew he wouldn't be able to kill them.
You know, I did see that is one of the things about him, was that some of them did have friends with him, and that's when he said, "All right, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do anything."
Right, because his chances of, you know, killing them are lower that way. Plus, he'll definitely get caught.
Mm-hmm. Especially if one of them gets away.
So it's probably, no, that's not worth it. So I'm assuming that's why some of them are alive.
Yep. And okay, continue on. In 2013, a family member recognized a woman in one of the photographs and identified her as Christine Thornton, 28 years old, who had been found murdered in Wyoming to stand trial due to ill health. So, I guess that's another another thing how he found the murders was because family members would come forward and say, "Yeah, I recognize that's my daughter."
Right after they released all those pictures.
Mm-hmm. And then, in addition, 900 photographs from Alcala collection were too sexually explicit to be shown to the public.
So he took, yeah, we're all right, because you know that locker that they found of him where he had all that CP on there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously they're not going to release that on the public, because then all the weirdos are going to be like, hell yeah.
All the weirdos, and obviously, you know, they don't want friends or family to see pictures like that being shown in the public.
Degrading. So they probably just put normal pictures.
And I know right now we're talking about Rodney, but so I want to throw in a little Jeffrey Dahmer real quick.
All right.
So this is just a little side note. I don't know if you knew this, but as I was watching Jeffrey Dahmer on Netflix, the cops found, you know, pictures of, you know, his victims, and he had them all these poses. Apparently, there's a rich guy who made a statue of one of his victims, fucking all bent it backwards, and he turned that into art, and he had it in display.
That's weird.
I don't think that's fucking poor taste, man. That is fucking horrible.
How the fuck is that allowed to be an art piece? Like, that's a victim, right? It was a picture of a victim in a pose. Why would he do that?
And he decided to make it as a statue, and he presents it proudly. Like, how can you be fucking proud for that?
Ladies, if that dude, you know, if a dude that's like, hey, you know, look, I got the statue of a victim of a murder or whatever, that's kind of a red flag right there. You know, just like leave. I will just be like, all right, peace out, I'm out of here.
Like, I'm done. I'm not gonna fucking deal with this guy.
that dude's probably a murderer. Shit, that's like some weird ass behavior right there.
Alright, so here's some trivia. We are now at the trivia segment of Rodney Alcala. So Rodney Alcala represents himself at trial, and during questioning, he morphed into two people. So this guy had like a split personality disorder at the same time.
Oh, damn.
He interrogated himself on the stand for 5 hours using a deep voice and calling himself Mr. Alcala, and then answering in his normal voice. Damn. So that was the thing too. Like, that's why he was discharged from the military, was because of antisocial thing. Is that part of antisocial? Having like two personality disorder?
I think that's like two separate things. Split personality and antisocial, that's like two whole different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because antisocial just means that you don't like to be with other people or whatever. You don't like to hang out with people. And you kind of can't be antisocial and be in the military, because, you know, you got to share living quarters with other people.
And you got to communicate when you guys go into battlefields.
Uh-huh.
And
The only place where you can be antisocial, apparently, it's in the Russian military. Because apparently they don't communicate with each other, just leave all their dudes behind. Have you seen the situation that's going on right now?
Right.
With the Russian army.
Right.
Supposedly they were the second, best army in the world. It's just like, okay. I guess.
Oh shit, no, go back. I'm sorry, I was trying to get rid of that bottom part.
But yeah, that's like two different things. So during the trial, he was like doing deep voice, being like, Mr. Alcala or whatever, and then going back to his normal voice.
Yeah, that's what he did for 5 hours. I was like,
okay.
I mean, the guy's a psychopath as it is, so...
Maybe he was trying to plead insanity or something, so he wouldn't go to jail.
Either that, or, I mean, to me, it kind of also seems like the lawyers, or, whoever asked the questions, they're not going to ask him the right questions, so he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll ask... Because he didn't even get a lawyer. He did everything on his own. And he was like...
self-representing.
Yep.
Alright.
So he was like, you know what, the lawyers are not going to ask the right questions, so you know what, I'm just going to ask the question.
Shit, what? Okay, now I'm thinking like, was they like just on the witness stand, running back and forth, pretending to be a lawyer in a deep voice, and then going back, sitting down back, yep, that's me. And then running back over the bed, hi there, what time were you at this on the joint? And then running back over the back and forth.
I think that's more like a comedy movie thing. Like, I'm pretty sure if he did do that, the security guard will tackle him because they think he's running away. So I'm thinking like he just sat down and he just go going, what about this? Well, how about this? How about this? How about this? Like he just did that majority of the time. So after being sentenced to death in California, he received another 25 years sentence in New York for killing 2 women.
Also, he must have been traveling around and killing people.
Well, I'm pretty sure they had him locked up before, they sent him to New York.
Right.
But hey, that's how he fucking lived for so long, because he had to like serve sentence here, sentence there.
Oh right, yeah. I think New York doesn't have the death penalty, so.
Like back then, or even nowadays.
Well, back then they probably did, but nowadays I think they don't. Same thing with California. I think they don't have the death penalty currently.
What happened to the good old days with public execution?
Man, bringing back public hangings, Shit, somebody's going around doing this kind of stuff, just hanging by a tree.
Right?
Put a rope around their neck just until they're dead.
What happened to the good old days?
Good old days when people would just go and watch.
I don't even know this guy. I just want to watch it. He also filed a lawsuit against California for a slip and fall incident while incarcerated.
Huh.
I wonder how that actually worked out.
I don't know. I mean, this was quite a while back, so probably not too up for him. But if you did that in 2022, you're going to win that lawsuit. Heck, you can sue for anything nowadays.
Honestly, yeah. Like,
someone seizes on you, I'ma sue you. That's battery.
Or fucking that woman who sued McDonald's because her coffee was too hot, and she actually won. Can you believe that?
You got all the weirdest stuff going on right there. Everybody wants to sue everybody for every single thing. Shit, have you heard like people like if like someone's choking and you like save their life and then they'll sue you for that?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking weird. Like, how are you gonna sue somebody for saving your fucking life?
Right.
That's fucking weird. People are weird.
Yeah, they are weird. He also actually filed another lawsuit against California for failing to provide him with low-fat diet while in prison.
Oh, okay.
Like, dude, you fucking killed people. Why do you think you deserve this?
Shit. I had to deal with like fucking school lunch when we were in school, and I never complained. I just ate that shit.
You know what's the one thing I never thought you can do?
What?
So, before I worked at McDonald's, I always thought like, hey, whatever they have in the menu, whatever ingredients is inside that food, you either just eat it or you just take the shit out.
No, you can modify it. I've always known that.
I actually never knew that. Like, after I worked at McDonald's, I would hear people like, oh, can I get it hot and spicy with no mayo? I was like, you can actually do that?
Yeah,
I didn't
you
fucking
can
know you could do that.
It's always been a thing. And nowadays, you can even take it further, where you can be like, oh yeah, add no salt to the meat patty, or cook it a certain way, or whatever the fuck.
at that point, I'm just like, dude, why don't you just fucking cook it yourself if you're gonna be that specific?
Right. Like if you go into a McDonald's and you know how they got that screen we can order from,
Mm-hmm.
that's very specific. You can be like, yo, can you add like 2 pickles? Can you like cook the meat like extra more or whatever? Be like, it's very specific.
When I worked at McDonald's and people were like that, I couldn't fucking stand them. Or whenever they're like, can I get fresh fries? You ever see that girl about the 2 cookies incident? Or not 2 cookies, but just like she tried to order cookies.
No.
So, so there was this lady. I guess she called the McDonald's to let them know, like, hey, I'm coming in and I want to order some cookies. Can you make sure they're fresh? And I guess they decided, no, we're not gonna fucking do that. And she decided to pull out her phone and be like, hey guys, I called them and I said I want a fresh cookies and they didn't give me that. Can you believe that shit? I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are?
If you want fresh cookies, go in the morning. I'm pretty sure that's when they make them.
Oh yeah, that's when we bake them. But
by the way, do they come like pre-cooked or do you like actually bake them in the bag?
oh no, we actually bake them. I mean, the McDonald's I worked at, we baked them, but some of them they're always different.
Right.
You never know who does what. Everyone does
like,
everything different.
Like you do know, like the later you go to a fast food joint, the more that food and like stuff has been sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want like fresh coffee, fresh like tea, and fresh cookies, go in the morning.
Right.
That's when they make them fresh.
Or just make it yourself, honestly.
But yeah, you can't go in the afternoon and be like, I want some fresh cookies. Like at that point, they probably already ran out.
I know we're getting sidetracked, but just want to say one more quick thing. When I used to work at McDonald's, I had this lady, which I'm fucking surprised she didn't die from diabetes, because she was like one of those 300-pound women, and she will order iced coffee, but she'll say, can I get like 10 pumps of cream, 10 pumps of the liquid sugar, and then coffee? I shit you not, that thing was basically 99% cream and sugar, and then 1% coffee.
And because it's like McDonald's, that shit costs the same to make it.
It costs the same, but it's like, dude, how are you still alive after drinking that?
That's kind of one of the things I like Starbucks got, right? They charge you for every little thing that you want to order. Like, oh, can I get like 20 shots of vanilla? Yeah, that'll be like $30 extra.
Right. I can't really drink Starbucks. That shit is just ridiculous. And then, one more trivia about Alcala, saying it so many different ways.
I have no idea.
Allegedly, his IQ was actually 160. And I think that's genius level, isn't it?
Something like that. He was pretty smart.
I know genius level, it's like 145, but I wonder if that's higher than being a genius.
I don't know. I just know it's a high IQ. I think like what, 70 or 80 is the average human IQ. Something like that, around 80. 70, 80, I don't know. Below 60, you're kind of dumb.
Okay, yeah, so an IQ score of 115 means performance 1 standard above the median score, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna say all this fucking fancy words.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that.
So yeah, if you're 130 and above, you're very superior. 120 to 129 superior, 110 to 119 high average, 90 to 109 average.
Oh, so it's 90 to 109. I thought it was like 80.
Maybe back then it was 80, but they decided to fucking upscale it.
Oh, shit. Alright.
Everything was back then.
Back
Back in my day, we used to have a dollar menu.
Sure, we did actually have a fucking dollar menu. Back in my day, you could go to McDonald's and get a McDouble for fucking $1.
Oh god, those were the days. Now that thing's like 2 something.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was our segment of Rodney Alcala. So what are your thoughts about him?
He was weird.
He was weird, but somehow he was smart.
Somehow, yeah, he was smart. He knew how to lure his victims in, I guess. Act as a photographer, because everybody wants a photographer.
Well, you gotta think, like, yeah, this was the 70s, people want to be famous, and I think that was like the right era of being a celebrity because that's I don't really want to say that's when movies are barely coming in and music were barely.
When everybody was on coke too.
Yeah. Oh, that's when coke was legal. Hell, there was coke in our sodas.
Yep. Good old days.
The good old days. I mean, we were not born during those times.
We're not alive. Shit, I was
Like, wow, we're kind of sound like we're old. Like, the people are like, God damn, how fucking old are you guys?
70s. Yeah, it's like a good old 20-something years ago.
Like, yeah, we're 70-year-old, but we take care of ourselves. That's why we look young. We know how to take care of ourselves. But we are at the 5-minute mark. Any last minute stuff you want to say?
Not particularly. Just reiterate to people to trust your gut feeling. Something feels wrong, get out of there.
Yeah, trust your gut. Always believe in your instincts.
I end up like these women.
Ugh.
Also, don't go places alone, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I kind of honestly want to say it depends.
Depends.
Like, if you're going underground, yeah, I will fucking not recommend going in that fucking area. But if it's something like public, like, there's fucking windows everywhere, people can see what the hell's going on, it's like, okay, yeah, that's fucking fine. But maybe, yeah, actually just bring a friend. Even if you're in the most public place, in the park, at a bar.
Like doctors who kill patients or whatever, you think you're safe, and then you end up dead.
I don't know if this is true, but I actually heard that if the patient dies, the doctor actually gets more money. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
I heard of that, and I don't even know if that's true.
I don't know, man, because it could be they donate the bodies to like those weird farms. I've seen all the news is going on to like you donate your body to science, but then they chop you up and have you like a damn meat factory in there, like a butcher shop.
Right.
They got like bodies hanging from the ceiling or whatever, or on a hook.
Or you might end up in Disneyland, because I don't know if you heard, but the ride Pirates of the Caribbean, there's like a part where there's a skeleton on the bed, and it turns out that's actually a real fucking skeleton. That's not a prop.
Right, because some people just want authenticity, or some people apparently like at Disneyland, if you die, they just like prop you up, make it seem like you're alive until like someone can take you away because they don't want the kids to get scared.
Mm-hmm. Those Disney people are freaks. Alright.
Oh, I shouldn't say anything bad about Disney, otherwise we might end up.
Well, they fucking like, I know, for it. Alright, well, that was today's segment. I hope you guys enjoy this. And until then, we will catch you guys at another time.
This was the cat. Bye bye.